I just got something in the mail. It is this box. It's from FedEx Supply Chain, which is an interesting thing to say. This doesn't really imply that it's from anywhere, but the shape and what I ordered, I know what it is. So I want to take it out of the shipping box. We're going to compare apples to apples as best we can with the previous product to see how it compares. So this is my first new pair of P.F. flyers since the brand was discontinued and then brought back. The box is a little banged up, which is disappointing. I have a couple of these boxes sitting around. It's very similar looking, if not identical. But you know what, based on the inside, I feel like it is a cheaper box. And of course I get the Sandlot edition because that's the one I prefer the most. And here they are, yeah, P.F. flyers, black, size 10.5 for anybody that's interested in buying for me. The significance, there's some significance here. Like I said, the brand was discontinued or phased out in, I think, officially January 2021. I wasn't paying attention. Usually these shoes last me between 6 months and a year, and it's the only shoe I've been wearing since May of 2009. And so I usually only look, you know, whenever a pair of mine is on its way out. And so I had 2 weddings to go to in early November of 2021, and I was looking because mine were on their way out, and I couldn't find any, and realized that's when I learned the brand was phased out, discontinued. And you go on eBay to look and find them, and it's a crapshoot. You'll find pairs selling for over $100, then they're used and worn, and then I've seen pairs selling brand new on eBay for like $60 in my size, in this color. You can get, of course, this is what they call a Center Hi. That's what they used to call a Center Hi. Now they call it a 1993, probably because they don't have Sandlot licensing, because it costs money to do that. And you can get other Center Highs on eBay, brand new in my size, maybe your size as well, for the old going rate of $60, which is what they cost brand new before the phase out. It's what they cost the entire time I was buying them from 09 to 2021. So in that panic, you know, there was word about them bringing the brand back, and there was a link to a website that was talking about the brand coming back. But all the website was like some stock imagery of the shoes, a little bit of branded flair, and then a place for you to sign up for more information, which didn't feel promising. And it turns out, I could be wrong, I could be remembering poorly, the daughter of the CEO of New Balance, who owned P.F. flyers, saw an opportunity and decided it was time to bring the brand back. And she took the reins, and supposedly the brand is going to be basically built more as a women's fashion shoe line, but because of the heritage of the shoe, they're keeping around Center Highs and, you know, the 1993. And so that's really all I was here for. What I want to do is I want to compare it to the last few pairs of P.F. flyers I have from before the brand was phased out. Let's see here. Let's start with this piece of garbage. This is my last pair of P.F. flyers that I bought normally, right? I probably got these, if I had to guess, late 2020. Now, if I'm being entirely honest, I don't think these shoes actually are a match. I think I have like 5 old Sandlot shoes around here. The reason is usually when I would get a brand new pair, I'd keep the old pair around for when I needed to do something that was like gross or rough. If I'm working on the car or working outside, I would always tell myself, no, put the old broken ones on, don't put the brand new ones on. But I almost never actually held to that. But I kept them around just in case, for some reason, right? Well, that just in case came in time when they were discontinued. And so The problem I always had with PF flyers was this problem here, right? The tongue, not the tongue, the toe of the shoe would separate, and on something like I don't know, maybe like a Nike Air Jordan shoe or an Air One shoe. I don't know a lot about Nike lineage, but this piece here, your outsole, that's one piece, and often it's stitched to what they call the upper, which is this cloth bit here. This is what I have to assume is a cement construction, and what the problem is that the outsole is this rubber piece, this natural rubber piece, and it is itself cemented to the black midsole, which is this black rubber piece, and the bumper, and so that cement separates over time, which is why it's like this is perfectly natural, this is perfectly black. It just splits, and so you end up tripping over stairs, and this whole thing comes undone. You can see the bottom of the upper, the insole isn't glued to this at all, and so yeah, it just facilitates some separation. And I've tried shoe glue for years, right? Every now and then I'll try it again, see if it's any better. The problem with shoe glue I found, and most recently I tried it's stuff they sell at leather stores. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to put it up on the screen. But it's got toluene in it, which means it's a dangerous chemical. And typically, when it comes to glues, the more dangerous the chemicals, the better they are. The way you should apply it is you should apply it to both surfaces, let it tack up, and then put it together. But that's really hard to do when you have to hold this apart. And then there's also a seam in there where they're going to touch, right? And that's on this last pair that I glued up. That's exactly where it started coming apart, where they were always touching when you would split them apart. As far as I can tell, the only real way to do it would be to take the entire natural rubber outsole off from the midsole and bumper, which I wasn't prepared to do given the circumstances. So that didn't work for me. So then I go on eBay and I found this pair, which was interesting. I've never seen a pair like this. I think these were brown. They are still brown. But they have this blue and yellow accent on the midsole. They have brown rings or eyelets for your shoelace. The PF Flyers thing is white and brown. The inside is blue. This is just a Center Hi pair, but it was in my size, and I knew it would fit and feel the same way as my Center Hi Sandlots, so I grabbed these for $30 in, I think, November, which felt like a decent price for a used pair of PF Flyers. And the rubber outsole isn't separating at all, but this feels like an older pair of PF Flyers to me, because they have a cloth logo here. The size is on the ankle and not on the tongue, because I feel like this isn't, and they have the older outsole. If you look at the new PF Flyers, they are different. They have the heel pattern and the toe pattern and this empty space here. These are a pair same way as the current Sandlots. This is probably a pair from I think before 2016. I'm not a historian, alright, but it's an older pair. It's holding up just well, and these have been my dailies ever since. Then, the day before Christmas Eve, I was scouring eBay, and I came across these. Now these have the current Sandlot heels. They have the wider PF on the back. They have the size on the tongue. It's all the makings of a modern Sandlot shoe. These were also marketed as used. However, like a dummy, I think they were up for $80. I think I put an offer in for $60 or $65, and they took it. I should have lowballed them a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, compared to the brown ones, these are in very good condition. you can tell they've been worn, right? But the bumpers, the ridges on the bumpers, which I always found to kind of indicate the wear, they're still very sharp. The blacks are very black. I always experienced, like, this is an old Sandlot, and you can tell by comparison it's awful brown. I guess it's just the sun wears down on it. And yeah, these are in really good shape. I haven't even worn these yet. These came in, I think, on the 4th. The reason I haven't worn them yet is because I'm going to try to go through the PFs I have in order of how old they are. So these are the next pair I'm going to wear. But then, on New Year's Eve, I get the email from PF Flyers that I've been waiting for so long that, hey, guess what? It's time. You can order the shoes now. And so I went on and ordered a brand new pair. Now, what I was concerned with personally was, one, how much were they going to cost? And I think they cost like $85 or $88, which is disappointing because they used to cost me $60. I feel like we've put ourselves in a Chuck All-Star versus Chuck All-Star 1 position, right? Where they realize that they have a more premium product and are going to put that at the next tier, I guess. I'm not paying $90 for a pair of Chucks. I'm sorry. I know they're going to be better than basic Chucks, but I'm still not going to do it. But then again, I just paid $90 for PF Flyers, right? And PF Flyers, as far as I'm concerned, were always better than Chucks. In the last 12 years I've been wearing them when you compare apples for apples pricing. But a little bit of that is, I want to say it's a Sandlot marketing, but they're not paying it for any other branding. This is called a 1993. And so, I don't know what you're paying for extra there, unless it's just the fact that it's all black and it's the product that everyone's going to clamor over. As far as I can tell, it's an all-black Center Hi. The regular Center Hi goes for $75, which is not as bad of an uptick in price. But I'll continue to pay it for now. And so, the next thing I was concerned about was, what goes into the manufacturing process here? And is the manufacturing process changed at all? You've got a brand that has been around for a while. I've been buying them for the last 12 years. And, what does it take to take a brand that gets discontinued back up and running again? And part of it, I thought, I was afraid that they were going to come back with a brand new product that was cheaper made and not as good, or the same price, or even worse, a higher price. And so, when it comes down to manufacturing, I'm sure they have molds for at least the outsole. The midsole might just be like a strip of rubber that goes all the way around the shoe, and then the bumper is probably molded. So it costs money to make molds, right? And molds have a certain lifetime to them. You can only use a mold so many times before it starts to wear out. And so it would be cheaper for them to use what molds they had when the brand was discontinued. That would be to tool brand new molds for a brand new shoe for a brand that was phased out because it wasn't really performing the way they hoped. And so I feel like they probably went ahead and used what molds they had, and what tooling they had. And even if the molds themselves were bad, they had the CAD instructions, the G code, whatever it takes to machine brand new molds. And it's not just molds though. These things are admittedly some amount of mass produced, and as such, everything on this thing is an assembly line process. They've got stamps that they bring down on the canvas to cut out all of the basic shapes that make up this shoe, and those stamps are also have a lifetime. They need to be sharpened, and they're molded to the shape, and they get pressed so many times in a hydraulic press against through so many sheets of fabric, and in this case canvas. They're going to wear out eventually. But here's the thing: if you already had them at the time of the shutdown, they're ready to go. So it looks like, yeah, these look identical to the old ones. And so what sucks is, I can put them on, but it's not really a valid comparison. Everyone knows that when you put on brand new shoes, they feel differently than a pair of brand new shoes, and that new shoe feeling is something I experience for maybe only a few days at a time every year or so when I buy a pair. That it's something I can't really compare apples for apples with. One thing I do want to do is I want to compare size-wise to see. Yeah, so putting the heel against the heel and just kind of rocking it forward, back. The bumper is exactly where it was. As far as I can tell, it's the same size. So that's good. And these are, of course, size men's 10.5, women's 12. One thing I am curious about, a while ago, 2016 and before, when they used to have, let's see, this sole and this on the back, if you took the insole out, the insert, there used to be, and it doesn't look like they've brought this back, there used to be a little green piece of fabric in there that said, sometimes a closed door is the most sincere invitation. And I've got a couple of them still, and I would look for it every time I got a brand new pair, and it looks like they haven't brought that tradition back. So we'll see. But maybe I'll do like another video once I've worn through these and worn through these, and I start wearing these. But everything I see right now indicates that these are the exact same shoe. Just you're gonna pay a little bit more than you were before. The good news is you're no longer paying $150 on eBay for a used pair of Sandlots. You're paying $85, I think, for a brand new pair of Sandlots, and then shipping. When I got this, they told me that my order was order number like 2900, so maybe that indicates that they're really getting some shoes moving and the brand isn't going anywhere for the foreseeable future, and I really hope that's the case. I really enjoy these shoes. For the time being, I will say that given the supply shortage of them, and the fact that I'm a 30-year-old boy that is too afraid to find something new, if these shoes ever disappear again, I've decided I'm keeping a number of my old shoes for a number of reasons. One, in case I can learn to repair them in a way that keeps them on the road a little bit longer, and two, at least one pair is going to be a sacrificial pair. I'm going to tear it all the way apart and make fabric patterns from it to maybe try to make my own shoe from scratch. I spent a lot of time in the last couple months learning about and reading about how shoes are made, and while the amount of effort and time and money that would go into making a Chuck equivalent shoe is probably not worth it to some, I think the adventure could be rather fun to see what it takes to make a shoe like this from nothing but scratch. It might make me appreciate more the cost of something like this that seems to keep going up. But yeah, I just want to do like a little unboxing video, I guess, of these and compare them to the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years of P.F. Flyers that I have, to see how they hold up, and all signs are pointing that these are going to be good shoes, and I hope they stick around for a while. If you're interested in shoes, I don't know how many videos I'll ever do about shoes, so I'm sorry if I touched a niche market that I'm not really involved in. But if you like my channel, there's a subscribe button, a bell. I don't know what any of it does anymore. Do whatever. Dislike the video, like the video. Apparently nothing matters. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll have more videos out this year than last year, I think. Maybe, hopefully. If not, then I've disappointed someone. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time I do an unboxing video of something that I get. Bye!